My husband's best friend bought the house next door last night. I discovered why he's been renovating the basement for 6 months. When Ryan purchased the house next door, my husband Mark was thrilled. Poker nights without driving home. He joked. I was happy too. Ryan had been Mark's friend since college, practically family to us. The renovations started immediately. Not the kitchen or bathrooms like you'd expect, but the basement. For 6 months, contractors arrived at 7 a.m. Sharp soundproofing materials, special ventilation, reinforced doors. When I asked about it, Ryan just smiled. Man cave project, you know how it is. Mark spent evenings helping him, coming home covered in dust and oddly quiet about the progress. Ryan wants it to be a surprise, he'd say when I asked for details. Last week, our daughter Lily mentioned something strange. Why does Uncle Ryan have so many computers in his basement? I saw them through the window when my ball went over the fence, probably for gaming. I told her, though something felt off. Ryan barely knew how to use his iPhone. Yesterday, everything clicked into place. I was putting out trash when I heard voices from Ryan's basement window. Well-helm voices, young voices. I crept closer and heard Ryan speaking. Remember, you are safe here. No one can hurt you anymore. This is your space until we find you a permanent home. My blood ran cold. I pressed closer to the window and saw them minus 3 teenagers, maybe 14 or 15, sitting at computers. One had a black eye, another's arm was in a sling. I was reaching for my phone to call 911 when Mark's hand touched my shoulder. Don't, he said quietly. Let me explain. Inside our kitchen, Mark pulled out a folder marked Project Haven. Yeah, it were documents, photos, and letters that made my hand shake. Ryan's been running an underground safe house for abused teens, Mark explained. Kids whose parents kick them out for being gay, trans, or just different. And these kids often end up on the streets or worse. The folder contains success stories. Tyler, now in college, Sarah, working as a nurse, David, who'd been living under a bridge before Ryan found him. The computers are for online school, Mark continued. The soundproofing is so neighbors don't ask questions. Everything is legal. Ryan's a licensed foster parent, but he keeps it quiet to protect the kids. Why didn't you tell me? I demanded. Because Ryan made me promise. The fewer people who know, the safer these kids are. Some have parents actively hunting for them. I thought about Lily playing next door, about the teenagers I'd seen. Is it safe for our family? Mark showed me background checks, safety protocols, even a letter from the local police chief supporting the project. Ryan screens everyone. Here is a social worker who visits weekly. It's more organized than you'd think. That night, I knocked on Ryan's door. He answered, looking exhausted. Mark told me, I said simply. How can I help? His eyes filled with tears. I was terrified you'd report me. These kids, they've been through enough. I met them that night. Jamie, kicked out for wearing a dress. Alex, whose father broke his arm for having a boyfriend. Maya, who'd been sleeping in her car for a month before Ryan found her. Why? I asked Ryan later. You were single, successful. Why this? He pulled out a worn photo of a teenage boy, my brother Kevin. Our parents threw him out when I was in college. I was too scared to help, too worried what people would think. He died on the streets 3 weeks later. The basement made sense now. 6 bedrooms, a common area, a kitchenette, a refuge built from regret and determination. This morning I brought over homemade breakfast. 3 teenagers who'd forgotten what unconditional kindness looked like cried over pancakes. Mark was right about poker nights. They happen every Friday now, but the real game is providing cover for the steady stream of social workers, tutors, and therapists who visit throughout the week. Ryan's saving lives in that basement, and we're protecting his secret with our normal suburban facade. Sometimes heroes wear capes. Sometimes they wear contractor dust and carry soundproofing material. Last night, Jamie got accepted to art school. Alex starts his new job Monday. Maya's aunt in Oregon agreed to take her, and 3 more kids arrive next week. The renovation never really ends.